Hello everyone, there is news that will shock you in this video. If you like that news, tell us in the comments. Let's go. Bad news for the Premier League. Defeat for Arsenal against Bayern deals huge blow to English hopes of securing 5th Champions League slot. Next season, two nations will be granted an extra spot in the expanded Champions League tournament. Initially, it seemed plausible that the Premier League might secure one of these additional places. However, the outstanding performance of Italian clubs in European competitions has all but guaranteed Serie A place in the Champions League, leaving only one slot remaining. The battle for this remaining spot was primarily between the Premier League and the German Bundesliga, determined by coefficients. Before this week's quarter-final fixtures, the Bundesliga held a slight advantage over the Premier League in the coefficient rankings. However, Bayern Munich's triumph over Arsenal further extended Germany's lead, tipping the scales in favor of the Bundesliga side. Daniele De Rossi explains how 10-man Roma used intelligence and tactical knowledge to dump Christian Pulisic's AC Milan out of Europa League. Following an impressive victory over fellow Serie A side Milan, who reached the semi-finals of the Champions League last season, the Giallorossi head coach has explained some of the tactics that helped secure the win. Speaking to Sky Sports Italia, he praised his team's stoic defending and said, "I am really proud to be the coach of a team like this." Mikel Antonio makes extraordinary referee claim following West Ham's Europa League exit to Xabi Alonso's Bayer Leverkusen. Speaking to TNT Sports after the match, Antonio said, "It doesn't feel like you're playing against 11 men. It feels like you're playing against 13.14, including the two lines. You just have to keep pushing and try and make the decisions go your way." And they just weren't. We had to keep playing our way and keep being professional. I felt like I didn't get a decision all game. I felt a bit frustrated. We felt like we deserved more. But it's football. Sometimes the decisions don't go your way. We move on and build on that and try to get into the Europa League next year. Why rock star Lionel Messi has been likened to Prince Bruce Springsteen as Hollywood actor makes pitch to Taylor Twellman for movie starring Inter Miami icon. Lionel Messi is a rock star, Paul Scheer has told Taylor Twellman, with the Inter Miami icon putting on a show akin to Prince or Bruce Springsteen. The 8-time Ballon d'Or winner continues to pull in huge crowds across the United States, with more than 72,000 spectators packing into Arrowhead Stadium for his latest MLS outing against Sporting Kansas City. Antonio Nusse why Chelsea and Tottenham are looking to sign Club Brugge's Norwegian Neymar. The 19-year-old came extremely close to securing his dream Premier League move in January, and should be on the move this summer. For various reasons, the 2024 January transfer window was the quietest in recent memory. Even the Premier League, traditionally seen as the land of endless riches, was not insulated from this reality, with most of its clubs watching the recruitment period pass by without major incident. There were a few exceptions to this rule, however. One such case was 3 London clubs committed attempts to bring Antonio Nusse to England. Tottenham and Chelsea are both understood to have contacted Club Brugge over the forward's availability, though it was Brentford that eventually emerged as his most likely destination. The Bees even managed to hammer out a $25,031.1M deal to sign the Norway international, before his medical flagged an issue with his knee cartilage and potential long-standing back problems. Thus, at the 11th hour, Brentford pulled out of the running, leaving the highly rated teenager to see out the season in Belgium's top flight. "We need everyone now for the last push," Virgil van Dijk sends rallying cry to teammates after Liverpool's dismal Europa League exit as Premier League title race reaches climax. Liverpool managed a 1-0 victory against Atalanta in the second leg of their Europa League quarter-final clash, but it was too little to overturn the 3-0 deficit from the first leg at Anfield. After the consolation win, Van Dijk has called on his teammates to regroup and focus on the final stretch of the Premier League title race, starting with a match against Fulham on Sunday. Man Utd's dressing room cracks are showing again, so can Erik ten Hag survive Old Trafford's player power problem? The Dutchman arrived at the club on a mission to put an end to player power, but one man alone can't fix a culture that has been brewing for a decade. It began with Alejandro Garnacho turning up late for breakfast during Erik ten Hag's first pre-season tour as Manchester United manager. Then Cristiano Ronaldo started leaving matches early even when he was supposed to come on as a substitute. The Portuguese later gave an unauthorized and explosive interview to Piers Morgan, firing shots in all directions, including at his manager. Then Marcus Rashford was late for a team meeting and dropped from the starting lineup. A blissfully quiet few months with little to report on in the form of dressing room politics then passed, only to be followed by one negative story after another to greet the new season. First, Jadon Sancho didn't train hard enough and when he was bluntly told so, fired back in an angry social media post. Days later, Antony was accused of violence against women and took a leave of absence to deal with the allegations, which he denies. Anthony Martial turned up at training at the wrong time before Rashford visited a nightclub after the humiliating defeat in the derby by Manchester City in October. 3 months later, Rashford missed training after a wild drunken night out in Belfast and lied to the club about his whereabouts. Then, on the lower end of the scale, last Saturday Garnacho liked a tweet criticizing Ten Hag after the 2-2 draw with Bournemouth. Couldn't be worse. Dutch icon Marco van Basten savages Manchester City ace after penalty shootout heartbreak against Real Madrid. Dutch icon Marco van Basten tore into Bernardo Silva following his costly penalty miss in Manchester City's Champions League loss to Real Madrid. City were knocked out of the Champions League at the quarter-final stage by the Spanish Giants in a tie that ended 4-4 on aggregate before a shootout was required. Prior to Antonio Rudiger's spot kick sending Madrid through to the semi-finals, Silva's effort from 12 yards was easily saved by goalkeeper Andriy Lunin, who barely had to move to make the stop. After the match, Netherlands hero Van Basten heavily criticized the Portuguese's penalty attempt. Barcelona have reportedly been fined PS $21,426,600 and handed a suspended one-match ban for fans' racist behavior against Paris Saint-Germain. According to The Athletic, the UEFA appeals body fined Barcelona PS $21,400 for racist behavior, PS $1,702,130 for the lighting of fireworks, and PS $4,285,320 for acts of damage during their 3-2 first-leg Champions League quarter-final win over PSG in Paris. The governing body placed a suspended one-match ban on the Spanish giants selling tickets to away fans for European games for a probationary period of 1 year from April 18th. We have reached the end of the video. If you like the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel so that everything new reaches you.